Hello friends and enemies, come with me on day 6 of my trip to Croatia. This was our first morning on the boat, and when I woke up and stepped outside, I was like, wow, I get to experience this for a whole week. After getting breakfast down in the salon, I wandered around the boat just to find a place to catch some sun before our swim stop. After a chill morning of floating around and jumping off the boat, we headed back on board for lunch and set sail for our next port. Everyone needs to be covered up before entering the salon, so make sure you bring some cover-ups with you for breakfast and lunch. After another delicious meal, I hung out at the front of the boat as we arrived in our next port, Mljet. Mljet is a pretty small island, and it's mostly known for the Mljet National Park. Once we got into the park, we had a lot of free time to do whatever we wanted, so a few of us went to St. Mary's, which is a small island in the big lake. To be honest, it's a pretty small island, and we were able to walk around the perimeter of it in like 15 minutes. There were a few notable places, like some churches, a cemetery, a restaurant, but we were like, we saw enough, so we took the next ferry back to the original meeting point. There are lots of swimming spots in the big lake and the little lake, so we hung out and swam at one of them for a little bit before heading back to the boat. Since Mljet is such a small island and there's not a restaurant that could accommodate all of us, we had dinner on the boat, which was really cute because it was our captain's dinner, and so the captain sat at each table and talked to every one of us. Our TD Heather had joked with us that we would want to take the private jet home with us because all of the food she would create would be so good, and she wasn't kidding because this meal was literally chef's kiss. After dinner, we had happy hour on the boat, and the happy hour specials change every day. You just gotta check the whiteboard next to the bar. After we took some photos up on the upper deck, we brought some speakers and a microphone up there to do some karaoke. Unlike some other places in Croatia, there aren't a lot of bars in Mljet, and if there are, they're closing at midnight, so most of the boats that port there just have a party on their own boat. Almost all of the boats that were next to ours were full of Australians, and not gonna lie, I think our boat was a little bit intimidated by them because it took a while for our boat to get hyped up. Since we had to shut off our music at 11 p.m. due to a curfew, a few of us went onto the island to hang out at a bar there until midnight, like in Pala for day 7.